Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Good morning, everyone. It's Ève Mongrain from It's Me Time podcast. I'm so pleased to have you here with me today. I do want to apologize for not being consistent in giving you content every week, but I really do want to say thank you for listening to me, even though I am not perfect yet. I am working on that. But I do have some content I want to share with you because it's been 2 weeks since I've done the last podcast. And by the way, I'm Ève Mongrain. I am a mindset and self-love life coach. I know you're hearing me here on YouTube, but you're also hearing me on some of the podcast platforms. And I would so appreciate if you guys could come. I don't know if you want to send me an email or go and comment. I don't even know if I can go and read your comments on those platforms because I'm not the one taking care of it. But I would love to have some of your feedback on what has helped you, what you would like me to talk about. If you have any question, because really, I'm looking to have a little more interaction with you, my listeners. And if you have any questions that you'd like, or like any issues or situation that you'd love for me to talk about, I would love that. And I'm looking for some people as well who would love to be coached on Zoom with me, and we would talk about some of your circumstances, and I would be doing some coaching with you on the podcast. And so it would be put out, and so that way other people can benefit from our interactions together. Because I do believe that my healing, I want to share it with others, because if I just share with others what I went through and how I went through it, it helps other people who are a little afraid and asking for help, right? If you can just sit at home listening to podcasts, that already has an answer that you need for your own life. It's amazing, because I do believe you don't always have to pay for healing. There's a lot of free content. You just need to be a match to hearing your guides and not judge what kind of content is coming at you that you're attracted to. Your inner being is always guiding you to it, right? And that was kind of my mission at first in healing. Like, I shouldn't have to pay for healing, right? We're paying therapists and coaches and stuff. And this is why I'm doing this here, because I want to help some people. Not because I don't think you guys have the money for it, just because I do believe that healing, we shouldn't have to heal. We're already perfect as we are, and we were just told that we need to be better or something, or be different, and we shouldn't have to pay for what our parents did, like what society did for us, right? They should be the one paying for us to heal in a way. But anyway, so today, so please feel free to send me your comments, because I love the interaction, and I just enjoy seeing how my work is actually impacting you in a positive or negative way. I'm assuming it's all positive, but I don't know, right? Love assumption. What I assume to be true is true. So, and I know that you guys, I know I have the valid conviction that what I put out is always helpful for someone. So I just want to hear from you, really. I want to have more from you guys. This being said, today I'm going to talk about a couple of things that happened this week and in the past 3 weeks. And first of all, yesterday, I was supposed to be recording my podcast yesterday, actually last week, but been procrastinating. Life happened last week. My girl started school, so I just let things slow down. I am not in a rush of getting anything done, because I do believe once you're ready, everything works out in your favor. But yesterday I was procrastinating again on my podcast. And instead of coming and record something, I went downstairs and changed some light bulbs. Actually, I changed one. And the second one I was going to do, I was trying. It was really hard. Resistance right there. Universe saying, hey, you should be doing something else right now. That otherwise, it would be easy. And I got something in my eye. I was live on TikTok, and it was so painful. Like, you have no clue. Like, it was painful. Like, for 10 minutes, I was like washing my eye with water, trying to remove it. And so I'm like, you guys, I'm turning off this live. I'm going for a nap. I'm hopefully it's going to go and it's going to leave. I'm also live on TikTok. So, sometimes very often I'm live on TikTok, just so you guys know. And right now I'm just saying hi to everyone out there. And thanks for the rose. Love life for the full. I'm not gonna go and say that because I'm on my podcast right now. I have a lot of fun on my lives most of the days. But anyway, all right. So I do have someone who's like, say super fast. So for you guys out there listening to me on the radio, on my YouTube channel, I just said because it was a challenge I was given on TikTok. You know, it's not just about life coaching and I think it was not a boring life. Actually, boring means more healthy, no chaos. It's like, okay, it's boring. There's no chaos. What the heck am I doing now? Right? We're not in fight or flight mode. Now we're on fun mode. And I want to share that. That's why I did it, because I want to share it with you. But anyway, back to the eye. So yesterday I slept all day, which I did nothing. And I was a little pissed off. I'm like, man, I was actually going to do something today. I had energy and was a no. So I went to the eye doctor because, well, it was not going away. And now I couldn't even open my eye. Like that one, my left eye couldn't, it was burning, it got scratched a little bit. So now I got a contact lens and some medication, and now I can actually open my eye and I see it doesn't hurt anymore. It's great. But yeah, all of this to say, you gotta take care of yourself first of all. But just to say, I'm here today and I'm super happy to be here because yesterday was like, you know what? Because my daughter, my goodness, I'm saying cause often today. cause. I'm justifying myself. But my daughter, she said, Mom, if I was you today and I would have taken the nap and I would have enjoyed sleeping. I'm like, but I'm tired of sleeping. I've been sleeping for so long. Like, I just want to do something. I just want to have fun. But why? She was asking me, why I want to have fun? I'm like, oh my God, it's boring to sleep all day. It really is. No, as much as like I'm enjoying taking the time, no self-care, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm ready to do some action. Like I'm ready to do something. And yeah, so today I'm here and I'm very excited to be here. I had no clue what I was going to talk about, but I got so many haters on TikTok you would not believe. That gave me amazing content to come and share with you. And I want to share with you some of the messages that I got. I'm just gonna scratch what I talked about. But yes, so there's a lot of like, I posted a video a few weeks back where it's like sharing my story. Like there's this song, na 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 the rest of my life. So if you're on TikTok, you most likely have seen this trend where people share what happened to them, or like, you know, how things got better or how things got worse. And I did share, 4 years ago what happened. Okay, my husband died, and then I got arrested, and then my dad called church services, and then there was emotional abuse and neglect and blah blah from family. And man, out of all of that, people were like, "You're awful. You're an awful person," because I got arrested for harassment. Which, by the way, for those who are new here, was the first person I fell in love with. He was giving me breadcrumbs, telling me, he wanted to work on things, and he did not. And so I was just in my trauma response and just fight or flight. And I was like, no, right? So everything happened. There was a peace bond. So I'm not found guilty of anything. All is good. There's a part of me that's enjoying say I got arrested. I feel like a badass, right? But man, people are coming at me. Oh my God, you're an awful person. Oh, like holy crap, like seriously. I lost my husband a year before. The awful person is the guy who made me like be hooked on the guy and not keeping his word. Like, oh my God. But anyway, nobody's awful. We were both of us in full on protection mode of our heart. And that's okay, right? But now people are like, oh, one person said, wow, that's a trashy excuse for self-gratification. And one thing I do enjoy, because even though I have haters, people are telling me, oh, ignore the haters, blah, blah. And my job is actually, I'm creating heaven on earth. That is my mission, create heaven on earth. And I do believe that haters are still people, right? Haters are just people who are being triggered into their reality. They're like, oh my God, no, like this is awful. Like it's like, and I used to be that person. I used to hate on me all the time. how can I judge those who hate on me when I was doing it, right? So now, because I was a judge of myself and hating on me, I actually found the tools to be loving on myself, and I can help these people. Like, this is why I do answer to all the comments, even if they're hating, because I do believe in educating people. You can't know something you don't know until you know it, until someone actually gives you a tool for it, right? So I do take time to answer those questions, like those comments. And I was like, you know what? Like, trash excuse for self-gratification. I said self-gratification. I should not need an excuse for self-gratification. I am born, I'm deserving of love. Doesn't matter what I did. That's called unconditional love. So yeah, it can be a tragic excuse. I'm still deserving of that, of saying I'm a good person. I'm deserving of the tap on my back just for being alive. I'm deserving of my own damn love. So when they say, oh, it's a trash excuse, yeah, because I don't even need an excuse, but right now, I'm still needing a trash excuse to give myself some love, right? It's a little low. I should not need an excuse to give me love. And I should not need an excuse to say I'm awesome and to celebrate myself daily. I should just do it because I'm alive, right? So that was for me, like, doesn't matter, you can come at me, but at the same time, I will teach you what I believe, my perspective, and if the message, right, the message might not even be for that person. When I do answer a comment, it might not even be for those people. It's going to be for those who are listening, because now, if I record this, there are people who are matched to hearing my story. There are people who are matched to hearing what I'm actually saying. There are people who would feel so bad and like, oh my God, I'm so trash, and they will start hating on themselves. So what the answer I'm providing to that comment is actually for those people who need the message. The person who, the hater, as we can call them, which are still just human people, it's just an excuse to do content and help other people in a different way, right? I would not come out like, oh, today we're going to talk about self-gratification. Doesn't come out that way. Oh, but somebody, messaging me about that, instead of saying, and now I don't say they're haters. No, I have haters and lovers. No, I have commenters. They're just commenting. And I have the power to say if it's a good comment or a bad comment. And actually, the more love I send to these people, energetically, they're going to feel that. They might not want it. They might want to hate, but they won't be able to hate because I'm sending them love and healing. And I'm transmuting the hatred they're sending me. But actually, I'm just a mirror of what they see for themselves, right? So I'm giving them I'm allowing them to actually, especially for that trash excuse for self-gratification comment, I'm allowing that person to give themselves self-gratification for free, right? By answering it, they're going to be like, maybe they're not, but there are people who are going to be like, oh my God, she's right. I shouldn't need an excuse to celebrate myself, right? That's why I take the time to answer those comments. And today I wanted to take a couple minutes to share some of those comments I got, because there are people out there who are listening to me. Maybe some people are telling you those things and you don't know how to react, and it triggers you into your fight or flight mode. Because if you haven't found your self-love, you'll be on the defense with those comments, especially if you're grieving, man. Like, a couple of things, there's some awful things are said, but I get to choose if it's awful, if I take it as awful, or take it as, let me educate people, right? Somebody, she's one of my dear friends, and she wrote, and I know it's all loving, right? I know people mean well and they want to protect me, and she's like, ignore the haters. I wouldn't spend a minute educating them. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone, because first of all, they're humans. And second of all, we all have our inner child. And so I said, can you imagine, because I used to be a teacher, right? I did primary substitute teaching in high school. But can you imagine if all the kids that were kind of hating, like that were bullies and stuff, if the teacher would say, well, we're going to ignore them. Can you imagine what kind of world that would create if we start ignoring all the kids that are not behaving how we think that they should, and stop just like, well, I'm going to ignore you. They have a behavior that's less appropriate because they're lacking in love. They're lacking in safety and nurturing, right? And it's like my kids, if my girls, if they're starting to have a crisis or like just like screaming and they're angry, I tell her, it's okay. You want to scream in my arms or no? Because you're angry and because of all of this does not mean that I remove my love for you. You don't get to go in your room to scream and live your emotion. I'm still here, right? So the haters, like for me, I'm seeing it. No, I know I'm like kind of reducing adults as kids, but in a way, we all have our wounded inner child. And not everyone, I know if you heal it, it's gone, but there's that inner child that wants to be recognized and seen. And the only way they can get attention is by being haters, right? And so for me, it's important. Yes, I want to educate them because nobody ever did. If it takes one person to trigger healing and awakening, well, let me be that person. I don't mind being that person because I'm not afraid. It's an emotion, right? It's just an emotion. Anger is an emotion, and so is sadness, and being hating. It's not. I wanted to help them feel free to express what's going on within themselves and not take it personal. Because I know all these comments, like I'm like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna respond and I'm a little pissed off a little bit. So my energy is also reflecting a little bit of that. But at the same time, it's helping me find self-love within me. But also finding love for them because I know that they haven't gone through what I went through and I don't wish it on them. I wish them the healing I went through though, which was still awful. Like I would not wish down my worst enemy the healing, the awakening I went. But at the same time, I kind of do because the after they will feel better about themselves and about the world, right? So it's kind of like it's weird. But yeah, so no, it takes at least one person to believe in people and seeing past, because those who are haters, it's a facade. They want to be loved just as we all want to be loved. They want to be acknowledged for who they are, and they have not been, right? Maybe they're jealous of things I have. Maybe they're angry because somebody hurt them in their past, right? If I said I got arrested for harassment, anybody who got harassed, they're going to be pissed off at me because now they see me as a bad guy, right? But in the end, like, well, did they tell you that they loved you? Did they send you, like, did they try to make things work with you? What was that like, right? Because then I think people, I help people take back the power in their life and to see how awesome they are and how the other person was not a bad person. Like, I mean, no, there are some things that I've been done with other people, but it's just to see how energetically that person was a match to feeling a need. And the only reason we call them bad is because people around us said that this was a bad thing. But in a way, there was an emotional need that was being fulfilled. And once we start seeing how we attract the people who give us something that we need, however way it is, it's a lot easier to forgive ourselves for having allowed things like that and not having stepped out before. So yeah, it takes one person to educate people. And even on my live, this morning, I was chatting with someone, and yes, I will talk about it. He loves nylons, right? He loves tights and legs and tights. Like I've been talking with a lot of men. They have some kinks, and that's awesome. Like, we all have some kinks, and if we judge kinky people, it's because either we're repressed on ourselves and we don't want to deal with that. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, when I go on other people's life, they all kick me and block me and just say I'm weird. And with you, it feels better because I'm accepting, right? For me, I'm so interested in knowing, what's behind the behavior? What is it that you're interested in? Because for me, I want to learn also for me, is that something I want to take in my life? Is that something I want to do myself or not? Right? I'm going with a curious approach instead of a judging one. And I think it's something that we could all do a little bit more. And as you go through your own self-love journey and that you're loving yourself for all that you are, right? It's a lot easier to accept others for what they are and who they are and what they believe in. And saying, this is you. Okay, that's cool. I will not judge you because that's your journey. Do I want you in my life? Yes or no, but doesn't mean that I'm a weirdo too. I will be honest. I do weird things sometimes, and I'm a weirdo, and I will not judge weird. I will not judge weird. Sometimes maybe, but not that hard. I still will find fun ways to make it happen for others, and just allowing them to be who they are. That way they stop judging themselves. They stop thinking something is wrong with them. But if you like nylons, you just like nylons. I can't change that for you. It's not, nothing is wrong with it. The only thing that's wrong would be how I see you and not want to be your friend because of that, right? That's just it. Like, it's just, what do you want in your life? What do you not want in your life? Nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. Nothing is good or bad. It just is. But that's a choice that we decide, right? Anyway, so another one message that somebody said is like, oh my God, anyone can become a life coach these days, right? And the way they said it was on different comments, but it was like, even somebody said, you should like, you have issues to address with your therapist. You should reflect hard on yourself, and you shouldn't be life coaching anyone. It's like, those are two different comments, but they kind of step on the same thing. I'm like, anyone can be a life coach these days. And my answer to them was like, yeah, yes. And that's the point. Anyone can be a life coach these days. Anyone can be an actress these days. Anyone can be an accountant. Anyone can be a doctor. Anyone can be what they desire. It's that simple. There's like, you're trying to hate on me here? Yes, if I want to be a life coach, I can. If I need certification, if I feel I need the certification, I will get it. But everybody's life, like, I'm not actually telling you what to do. That's not the point of a life coach. You're buying the energy. You're not buying tips on how to live your life. You're not buying tools. You're buying the person's energy. Because a good coach, just their energies, as their energy is going up, your energy is going up too. And you'll be more authentic to yourself. It's great to give you tools, which I know I also do. But as I heal, my energy, people work with me, it's the energy they're getting. It's the safe space they're getting, right? And so a life coach, yeah, whatever you desire to become, you have the possibility to do it. The only person who's stopping you from becoming and achieving who you want to be is yourself. That's it. That is it. People can hate on you and say, I wouldn't do that if I was you. This is not for you. But if that's what you want to do, then you do it. Fuck people. Yes, I said it. Fuck people who don't believe in what you want to do. It's not their life, it's yours. So yeah, anyone can become a life coach. Everybody, and actually those who become life coaches or therapists, most of the time, they went through some shitty stuff and they heal from it. And they want to share their wealth of information and their wealth of healing, because a lot of people are not going down that route, right? And so, yeah, if you're willing to go do it, yeah, everybody can become a doctor. You just need to go and study to become a doctor, but anyone can. Only they believe, oh, but I don't have the best grades. That's because first, maybe you don't want to go in there, but maybe you do want to go. And then once you decide this is what you're doing, the universe will align everything you need, including the grades you need, or including the programs you get to go in, right? Life will find a path for you to achieve it, no matter what. So it's just believing in what you truly desire. And then stop yourself from not doing it, right? You're the only one who's not doing it. Nobody else has the power to stop you. And like the issue addressed with therapists, you have issues addressed with the therapist, reflect hard on yourself. I was like, yeah, that story was from 4 years ago. So of course I saw therapists, I saw coaches. Of course, I've taken courses. I didn't become a life coach just for the fun of it. I became a life coach because I was gathering tools I needed for my healing, so I don't repeat whatever happens. I can start seeing my worth and not letting someone who's saying, yeah, I'll do that, and did nothing and just allowed. I'm like, oh, he's gonna come one day. Oh yeah, he said he will. No. This is why I became a life coach, because I needed those tools for myself. And now I'm like, I came out on the other end of this, and now I got tools enough that I can help people if I need to, right? So, but there were people like, oh my gosh. One girl, she said, because I was showing, like, I just had fun. I do have a Porsche. No, not that it brings me more value. I just enjoy nice things. And she's like, so you use your life insurance money for that. Show off what you got from the death of your kid's father. Sad. And I was like, you know what? And I used to be ashamed, because now I can see, my bank account. I'm working on things now. Still working on not being stressed. But I'm like, I get to do what the heck I want with my money, right? First of all, and I used to shame myself. I use money on trips, but on education, on healing. Now, like I get to spoil myself a little bit, But also, right? It's not just about survival mode. But she's like, oh, show off what you got from the death of your father's kids. And I was like, first of all, it was my husband first, right? 14 years, my husband, 2 years, the kid's father. So yes, I will show it off because it's not just about the car. It's about my healing. It's about the choices I've made. I could have money. I could have decided not to buy a car, right? That was a choice. I decided to buy a Porsche. That was my choice. I'm not showing off that he died, right? I would have got that money from work and it would have been okay to show off what I have. But because it comes from that, there's shame, right? I get the power to say if it's shameful or not. And I used to think it was shameful. Oh my God, I don't want to show off what I got, right? Now I'm like, fuck it. If people are jealous, then they're jealous. That's on them, not on me. And she's like, sad. Sometimes I put like how I read it. And I was like, this is not what's sad. What's sad is that the guy is dead, right? That I show off money. I show off what I got to spoil myself with, right? That's not the sad part. And I was like, you know what? If you feel like this is sad, I will allow you to live your own sadness. I'm actually pretty happy, right? Because if you feel sad, does not mean I have to feel sad either. If you're feeling sad and trying to make me feel sad, well, that's actually not that great. And I have the power to say, well, that's on you. I've done the healing, right? And even I'm hoping there's going to be another hater who's going to come and sometime this week. And my answer will be, well, you're a little late on the hater party. The party that hating party was like 4 years ago. Now it's the self-love and the loving party, right? It's funny because all they're saying is stuff that I used to tell myself. So I cannot hate on them. I used to say that to me. That's the sad part. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm able to say, I get to do what I want with my money. I don't have to justify it. If I want to buy this, yes. And I work so much on my healing and changing. And I was like, oh my God, I should have invested more, which I invested. I work also on me and things were not coming in. If you have a blockage of money, doesn't matter what you do. If you're on that vibration that there's no money, you can take all the courses, you can invest in everything, you're not making money. But when you are on that vibration, you can sleep and make money as you're breathing, right? So it's just, I did a lot of healing and just changing my mindset. And I was the best. I decided I was the best investment in the lifestyle I want, in who I am becoming, right? Because the lifestyle I wants me more. And it's like, but for me to be a match to accept it, I had to work on, I was worthy of receiving it, right? Anyway, so those were a couple of things that were said on TikTok. And I do, like, I don't think it as haters. Again, they're just comments. And I give them the powers that they have. And I'm like, they're actually giving the power to help more people as you're saying this. Because if one person can tell me those things, you can tell me those things, then that means you're saying it to other people as well. So let me either stop it from you or help other people who are being told these things. Because I think I'm going back for, again, heaven on earth. Everybody gets to, and for heaven on earth, everybody needs to love themselves. If you love yourself, there's nothing that can happen. You're going to see the world in a much more loving way. And that's just how I think. As I love myself more and more, the people who are surrounding me love themselves more and more. And we all get to be who we want without being judged and without fearing of repercussion for just being ourselves, right? So yeah, so that is this. It's already been half an hour. Look at that. It's already been I had a great time sharing with you these. Again, if it helps you, please let me know. I really want your feedback, okay? I don't have much. I actually have zero feedback from all of these podcasts. Also, you've actually, the feedback I had was, hey, on PBN podcast, They have 4 different stations where from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. till 8 a.m. I don't remember. I am on each of those. I am on each of those stations every 90 minutes on loop. So every 90 minutes on one of the PBN podcast station 1, 2, 3, or 4, I am there. So if you don't find me on any of the podcast station or on my YouTube, which is my YouTube channel, it's also on my website, maryevmongrain.com. That's the easiest way I know. But if it's not there, it's there every night. I am live. Well, it's not live, but it's just my recording every night on PBN. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. My username is at MaryMongrain90, MaryEmongrain 90. And if you have any, feel free to come and comment. And I do love to comment by videos. And I will start using some of those comments from TikTok a little more into my podcast. I think that's a really awesome way. Again, if you want to be part of my podcast and be coached live here, I would love it. Go on my website. There's a place where you can actually apply to be part of, to be a guest. And I would love it. So on this, you guys, I wish you an amazing day. Ciao.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.